Welcome back to another interesting tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to sew this beautiful circle flared dress with V neckline and bell sleeves. It also has a belt as well. This is what I got right here. You can see the flayed part of this dress is actually flaying. The bell sleeves are sleeving too. This dress is very gorgeous and beautiful. This dress also has two side pockets. Okay, I added two side pockets to it. I'll be teaching you the tips and tricks to making this beautiful dress. You can also add a belt to it. So I try tying my belt to this dress as it is in the original. And this is what the belt looks like right here when you tie it. So you can decide to tie your belt. You can decide to leave it as a free dress. So if this is what you want to learn in this class, I'll encourage you to stay till the end of this tutorial to learn more. Thank you. Fabric is silk. You can use silk fabric, you can use crepe fabric or any light fabric of your choice. I used 4 yards. I used only 4 yards of silk fabric for this project. Right now we are going to open up these 4 yards. We are going to cut out 3 yards for the bodice. Here is the 4 yards and this is the 60 inches length. Now we are going to take the measurement of the 3 yards which we are going to use for the bodice of this dress. We'll go ahead and measure 3 yards. So here is 1 yard. I will take another 1 yard, making it 2 yards. I'll take another 1 yard, making it 3 yards. Once I've gotten to the 3 yards, I'll just put a mark to it. So I'll just make a mark of the 3 yards right there. Then I'll also place a notch at that point. Next, I'm going to turn it the other way round. That is the other selvage piece. And I'm going to take the same measurement accordingly. After taking the 3 yards on the other side, I also placed a notch to it. So we are going to tear or cut out the 3 yards. After cutting it out, I'm going to separate the 3 yards from the 1 yard. The 1 yard is for the sleeve and the 3 yards, I'll open it. Here is the 3 yards and the 60 inches length. Now you are going to place it on fold first. The 3 yards, you place it on the first fold. Once you place it on the first fold, here is the folded edge of this fabric. I just want to take the measurement on fold to be sure that I have 54 inches length. So 54 inches length is automatically 1.5 yards when placed 3 yards on fold. Now you are going to pick it up from that folded edge and match the open edge to the folded edge just to form a triangle. So I'm going to make sure I arrange this part very well to form this beautiful flare. I'll keep arranging it to form the triangle like this. After folding the triangle, I'm going to secure my fabric with pins. The fabric I'm working with wobbles a lot, so I'm going to hold it down with my pin before we start cutting out. After that, make sure these folded parts align straight with the edge of your surface. If you are cutting it on the table, it has to align with the edge of the surface. That means you are going to keep that part straight. Next, I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement, divide by 2. Then I'll add 1 inch to it. My shoulder measurement divided by 2 is 8 inches plus 1 inch will give me 9 inches. So I just ruled a line on that point. So I added 1 inch to my shoulder measurement divided by 2 because I want the shoulder to come out a little bit to my sleeve area, as you can see right there on the video. On that starting line, I'll just go ahead and make sure I have the 9 inches. You can even add 1.5 inches to your shoulder measurement divided by 2. That is if you want your shoulder line to go down your sleeve. I believe you understand. Next, from the center front, trace a straight line with your ruler to the point of your shoulder measurement divided by 2 plus 1 inch. Now I'm going to rule a straight line. So that line is supposed to be perpendicular with the one we have on the shoulder line. Then you mark your chest line. My chest line is 9 inches. Of course, you know how to get it using your bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. Now I'm going to mark my neck width. Neck width is 4 inches and neck depth is 1 inch. Next, I'm going to connect my neckline. This is the neckline for the back. Neck depth for the front is 7 inches. You can make it 7.5 inches too, but I use 7 inches. I'm going to connect my front neckline. I usually like to use the curvy part of my ruler to connect my V necklines. I don't like them too sharp. On the tip of the shoulder line, come down by 1 inch for your shoulder slant. I'll connect it all the way to the neckline. Then we are going to, from that point, we are going to measure to the chest line. Get the midpoint. Then go in by 1/2 inch from that midpoint. We are going to connect the front armhole. So you connect with a straight ruler right there. On the chest line, I'm going to highlight the chest line following my shoulder line the way it is aligning. Then I'm going to measure my bust circumference divide by 4. I added 1 inch to my bust circumference divide by 4, making it 11 inches. My bust circumference divided by 4 is 10. I added 1 more inch to it for ease. Then I'm going to complete my armhole. For the back armhole, I'll just follow the straight part of that line and connect it to the chest line like this. We are done with the upper part of this dress. Next, we are going to take the length of this dress. So the length of this dress depends on your length. If you want it shorter or you want it below your knee line. I'll place my tape on the shoulder line and I'm going to mark my knee line exactly. My dress is on my knee line and my knee line is 41 inches. So what I did is I added 1 more inch to it, making it 42. I'll just go ahead and mark my length at 42 inches. Then I'm going to place back my tape at the shoulder and I'll mark on the next line. I'm supposed to start from the beginning, so I have to take it to the beginning. So I'll keep marking 42 inches like this. So I'll keep placing my tape on the shoulder line. Make sure your tape does not shift. It has to be on the shoulder line. I'll take it all the way to the end of this dress. Here I have gotten to the end of the dress, still marking 42 inches. The next we are going to do right now is to connect the end of the dress to the chest line measurement. I'll bring in my ruler right now and I'm going to place it like an A line from that point. Connect from that point all the way to the tip of the dress. Then we are going to cut it out. After marking that part, we are going to add 1/2 inch on the shoulder line for seaming the shoulder part. Then we are going to cut out the neckline. I only cut the back neckline. Please take note. I'm going to cut only the outer chalk lines, which is the back piece. I will go ahead to cut the back armhole too. So all the outer part of this dress, I'm going to cut them, which is the back piece. Remember, we drafted the front and the back piece together. Now I will go ahead to add 1 more inch for seam allowance. I will go ahead to connect the 1 inch seam allowance all the way down. Then I'll continue to cut. Just want to cut the down piece of this dress, okay, so we'll know what we are actually working with. I went ahead to cut it all the way to the center front line. Next, I went ahead to complete the cutting of my armhole. After cutting out the front armhole, then I'm going to cut on that A-line part. From the chest line, just cut all the way down the flail line. This is what your circle dress is expected to look like. I brought it back to the table to cut out the neckline. After cutting it out, this is the V neckline. Now we are going to cut out the facing. Before cutting out the facing, I want to cut out the belt. So I brought back the other remaining fabric from the circle dress. I'm going to mark 6 inches from the longer length. So the down part of these 3 yards, I'm going to use it for my belt. So the width is 6 inches. I kept cutting it all the way down. The belt is ready right now. I folded that same fabric after cutting out the belt for my facing. My facing depth is 10 inches. And the width is 7 inches. So I'll just go ahead and cut that square off for the facing. Here is my front facing, 7 inches width, and the back facing is still 7 inches by width. Then I made the depth of the back facing 4 or 5 inches. So you can use 5 inches, but I use 4 inches. Next, I'm going to place the back piece. Okay, make sure you place the center back together like this. And we are going to cut out the neckline. This is me cutting out the neckline for the back. Then after that, I'm going to shaping my facing. I'll take it off the dress, just give it a little shape, okay? Then we are going to open up the dress right now, and we are going to sew right side to right side of the facing. I'll go over to the machine now, and I'm going to stitch 1/2 inch. Make sure you secure with your pins very properly. After that, you are going to place notches on that neckline just to free that part. Then you flip all your seams to the facing and top stitch. Then I'm going to fold in a little bit there and stitch too to make it look neat. The facing is very much ready for the back. Next, we are going to sew the front facing to the front neckline. We'll repeat the same thing. Place it accordingly, making sure it aligns with the center front, secure with your pins, and then cut out. We are practically repeating what we did for the back neckline. So I'll just take it off, and we are just going to cut a straight line. So you can shape your facing the way you want. After that, open up your facing, place it right side to the main dress. Then we are going to stitch 1/2 inch. Always pin down your neckline properly, especially when you are working with a V neckline like this. You have to pin the center front, then you pin the edges, then you can go ahead and pin the rest of it. So I'll stitch. After stitching, make notch on the center front first, and then make notches on the sides of the V neckline. Flip all the seams to the facing and top stitch accordingly, and fold in 1/2 inch and stitch to make that part neat. This is the neckline. You can see how beautiful it's looking. Now we are going to sew the shoulder seam lines. I'm going to open up the facing, one of the facings, and use it to wrap up. You can secure with your pin. Make sure all the 4 pieces align and stitch 1/2 inch. The neckline is very much ready right now. You can tack all of this area, or you can use your hemming glue to glue it very nicely. So this is the neckline, and it looks so beautiful. Next, we are going to take the measurement of the pockets. I'll put the dress together like this, and we will take the measurement of our pocket. I'm going to pick up this other end and match it to the other end. Then we'll place our tape on the shoulder line, and we are going to take the waistline measurement. My waistline is 17 inches, so I'm going to trace it all the way to the side of the pocket right now. So I'm using just my waistline for this pocket. Then I'll mark 7 inches for the pocket opening. Here I am placing notches for my pocket. So after placing the notch, I brought back the pieces of fabric and place it on fold like this. Then I'm going to place it on another fold because we want to cut out 4 pieces of pocket. Now I'm going to cut out the excess. Here my pocket depth is 11 inches and the width is 9 inches. I'm going to cut out right now. I will measure the 7 inches pocket opening first, and then I'm going to come in by 1.5 inch from there, and then we are going to connect the pocket. Of course, you know how to go about your pocket, so I'll just go ahead and cut right away. Here I am cutting out the pocket, and the pocket piece is very much ready. I have 4 pieces of my pocket right here. Make sure you mark the wrong sides. I try to mark the wrong sides before I place it on the dress. Here is the dress. I'm going to pick it up on the notch part of the dress, and I'm going to sew right side to the pocket space. I'm going to align this piece with my pin on the 7 inches opening, as you can see. So they have to match very properly. I'll stitch 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to also pin this other part from the notch piece all the way down. After sewing the pockets to the sides, I'm going to close up the side. I'll be stitching the side with 1 inch, and I make sure I align the pocket very well. So once I get to the pocket, I'll stitch 1/2 inch all the way down. I'm going to place notch after stitching a diagonal notch just to ease the pocket, and I also place another one below like that. After sewing the pocket, here is the pocket space. Next we are going to sew the sleeve right now. The sleeve is actually a bell sleeve, so I'm going to take the measurement of what we have right there for the sleeve. I took the measurement from the shoulder to the armhole. Remember, we added some ease, so you have to take the measurement. There I got 11 inches. Here is my basic sleeve. My basic sleeve is actually shorter than the armhole. So I'll be sharing with you the tips and tricks to making it aligned right now. So I brought my 1 yard, and I'm going to fold the 1 yard to the length of 60 inches. So once you place it on fold, you'll be having 30 inches on that length. You can see it, 30 inches. Next, we are going to pick up this part and make sure it matches on this other side. After folding, I'm going to place my pattern on the folded part of this sleeve. So I'll just turn it the other way. This is the open part, and here is the folded part. So I will place the sleeve grain on the folded part like this, and now we are going to cut out the bell sleeve. The first thing I'm going to do right now is to secure with my pin, leaving 1/2 inch on the upper part of the sleeve for stitching. Then we are going to measure what we have from the sleeve grain line on the basic sleeve, and we'll mark 11 inches, which is that measurement we got from the armhole. I'm going to use the full length of my sleeve, which is 23 inches. Now I'm going to mark a straight line for the bell sleeve. On that full length, I'll just go ahead and measure 16 inches. Just mark 16 inches. After marking the 16 inches, you connect it all the way to the 11 inches point of that armhole. Remember, I added 1/2 inch for stitching on the sleeve. That is 11.5. Then I'll come up by 3/4 inch just to blend the sleeve so we do not have any sharp points. Here I have connected the sleeve. Then we'll add 1/2 inch. So I'm just adding 1/2 inch on the back sleeve pattern. Remember, this is a basic sleeve. So after connecting that part, we'll go ahead and cut. Here I am done cutting the sleeve almost. Next, I'm going to take off the pattern. We will open up this sleeve right now because we have front and back sleeve. I'll place back the pattern. We are going to trim off the excess at the front. Usually the front sleeve is smaller, so I'll just trim out that excess accordingly. After cutting out the excess, I will make notch at the front sleeve. Identify the wrong size of the sleeve, then hem the down part of the sleeve. After hemming, put them together and sew the side of the sleeve. Sleeve is ready right now. I'll go over to join my sleeve. I'll make notch on the sleeve grain line first. I'll turn the wrong side of the armhole, insert my sleeve, secure with my pins on the shoulder line, then secure with my pins on the hem line too. Then I'll proceed to the sewing machine right now. We are going to sew round this sleeve. Sleeve is very much ready right now. Next, we are going to sew the belt for this dress. I'll put it together, stitch close one end, then we are going to leave the center open. Here I'm done stitching, so I'll just go ahead and turn it to the right side. Like I said, I left the center piece open, so that is where I'm bringing it out from. I'll also go the other way, and I'm going to also turn it to the center piece. After turning, the next we are going to do is to close up that center piece. I'll just go ahead and top stitch on it, then give it a good press. After wearing the dress, go ahead and tie your belt. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.